I'm doing our daily login and check to see what's going on with the Model 3 order. We're really not anxious. We're just curious. It has said repeatedly for us August 18th through October 18th. That's not changed since we put in the order on 6/30, 2018. So, just 2-3 weeks ago. But I do see bill details here, and I'm not sure if I've seen that before. So I thought I would click on that and capture it. And that's just listing what we ordered. It's not actually any kind of an update. So I know there was an article on Electrek yesterday about Tesla shortening the delivery time and then increasing the delivery time, and why are they doing this? Just kind of talk. Are orders exceeding build capability? What's going on? We kind of know they do these cars in batches, but I just wanted to note for us that there's been no update to our order, and it's neither been pushed out nor brought in.
All right, you guys are part of the official morning go get the paper committee. Let's go. Hi, Sladey. I see you over there hiding in the grass. Come on, let's go back to the house. We must have had a lot of rain because there are lots of mushrooms up this morning. This one's really cool, and it grew through the twig. Don's headed out the door to the dermatologist. He goes once a year just to be on the safe side because he spent a lot of time in the sun as a kid.
Yeah.
And she always freezes something out of the abundance of caution, so his little head's liable to hurt when he comes home. I'm so sorry, Donnie.
It's so liable too. It will be hurting when I come home.
Oh, I love you. Kiss, Don't let her hurt you too bad.
I understand. Let me get my kiss. Cute little thing.
I'm out in Ruby for a few minutes. I'm just gonna drive Main Street and play Pokemon and just, get out of the house. Don's not back yet, and Johnny is up eating leftover Chinese food and happily playing on his computer with friends today. I've seen a lot of people on the forums lately, primarily Model 3, but sometimes Model X. And they're asking about the overnight drain, or my car is sitting and I've lost N number of miles while I'm sitting. Is this normal? How many miles should it be? Is there a problem with my battery? Over and over and over in the past few weeks. So I just wanted to talk about it for a minute. Our car charged to 235. Last night it finished charging at 3 something in the morning. I got a notification on my phone that I saw when I woke up. That's normal for us. For the longest time it was 237, now it's 235. We really don't know if that means there's been some tiny amount of degradation in the battery, or if Tesla just changed the way they calculate the number, or if we charge to 100% of the supercharger, if it would reset. It really doesn't matter. 235 is great for 28,000 miles at 80%. It's fine. So at any point when I get in the car, just now I'm at 230 miles, and so it's 12 o'clock, so 3:30 to 12, that's approximately 6.5 hours. I've lost 5 miles of range. Doesn't concern me. I do not have cabin preconditioning set on, but I do have cabin overheat protection set on. We also know that the car will run the fan motors to keep the battery from getting too hot. Now, it's pretty cool out today for a July summer day. I mean, it's in the 80s and it's humid, but it's not comfortable to humans, but it's not very hot in our garage. So Ruby may have put on the fan to cool the batteries down at some point, but maybe not. Hard to know. I wasn't out there the whole 6.5 hours. And we are running Tesla Fi, so when Tesla Fi pings the car to see what's going on, that's using some amount of battery. We just don't care, because A, I have enough range to get through my daily activities. B, overnight charging, we're only paying 6.3 something cents per kilowatt hour, so that's pretty cheap nationally for what we pay to charge. I mean, we don't want to be wasteful, but we don't want to micromanage to the point where we can't enjoy the car either, right? So I'm sure if I let the car sit the rest of the day, I would have lost somewhere between 10 and 15 miles total. You know, it's going to be a little higher for a car running a third-party app that's pinging the car, because every time you ask the car for information, that takes a small amount of energy, and a little less if you're not. You know, I think if you're gonna leave the car for a week at an airport, you need to think about how many miles a day you're gonna be losing, and you know, how you can minimize that so you don't come back to a dead car. But I think just if you're charging daily and overnight in the garage, you really don't need to worry about if it's 5 miles or 10 miles, or that means something's wrong with the battery. I guarantee you it probably at some point overnight, besides the fact that Tesla 5 was pinging the car, that the fans kicked on for a little bit to make sure the battery stayed at the optimal temperature. So that's normal for us. You know, you get a feel for, after you've had the car for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, about how much you lose by the time you're done charging and you get out to the car in the morning. And then you don't worry about it anymore. So I think most people, when they get their Tesla, they should give it a little time. They should check the cabin overheat protection and cabin smart preconditioning, which basically means it thinks it knows when you're going to get in the car, and it'll kick on the heat or the air conditioning so the car is comfortable for you when you get in. You know, you can review those things, but unless you're short on miles, I think I have Dawn do some math for us, and I'll throw up a little sheet, but little screen on the video. But I think we're talking about a few cents a day and less than $1 a month to just not worry about what the car is doing and let it do its thing. And if you lose a few miles with it doing it, it's all right. I say don't stress about it. Every time I read one of the appends on the Facebook group, I'm like, just don't stress about it. I mean, you know, if it's 30 or 40 miles a day, that's different. But, you know, just 5 to 10, yeah, we're not going to worry about that. Stopped here at Mineral Springs Park. Got some great tunes cranked up. Got the AC cranked up, doing our daily friend stuff and Pokemon Go for me and Johnny, just chilling. I spotted this cool paint job on this Sweetwater Brewing Company truck, and I would love to get a picture of Ruby beside it, but it's just not parked in a place that's conducive to me doing that. Maybe some other time. It's here in the Walgreens parking lot, and it's not parked very well. If I stopped, I'd be totally blocking traffic, so still cool. So another review I wanted to do this week, not because I'm wanting to do reviews, but just because this is something I wanted to order for Ruby, and I figured since I did, y'all would want to know about it, is the Qi wireless charging from TopFit. So let's go ahead and get this out of the box. When you open it up, you'll see a 12-volt charger, a USB charging cable, and the piece that goes on top of the console area here. Well, underneath the slider, but on top of the drink area. Also, they throw in the box one of these I'm gonna be done charging stickers. I guess you can put your cell number here if you want to, and say what time you plan to be back to your car. Not as useful for Teslas maybe, but certainly useful for Bolts and Leafs and other cars. And then here on the back, I guess they're showing other TopFit products you could choose to order. I'm gonna stick this in the glove box just in case. I'm not opposed to using it, especially providing a cell number if somebody feels they need to get a hold of me while I'm charging. So here's what it looks like after I took the plastic off. You can see the wire comes out here on the back. I'm guessing you're gonna want to wind this through somewhere. I haven't really thought about it too much. This is the actual wireless charging pad down in there. Fast charge, it says. Has that rubber on top of it to help your keep your phone from sliding around, and I think it's just supposed to fit in here easily. So let's see if that works out, and it does. It really does fit well. I'll have to think about what they said to do with the wire here for a minute. The one in the wire is going to be no problem. It's hollow underneath here. And then through this spot down here, I think even with this mechanism moving, there's plenty of room for the wire to come through. Or maybe on the very side down there. So let me see if I can weave the wire in there. So I plugged the charger into the cable, and then I pushed the charger up into the plastic and pushed the end of the cable up into the plastic. It's a nice fit. I did pull it back out. It just made it easier to get this rubber on the left seated in the harder plastic tray. It fits nice and snug. It's not going to be moving around. All right, save yourself some grief and run the wire from here down instead of what I've tried to do coming the other way. I'm going to take it apart. This will be much easier because this is raised. So start at this end, put the wire through, and then connect it over here. So running the wire from this side underneath to the other side, that worked within a few seconds right away, no problems. This piece, you're not going to want to use this if you use this for drinks over here. If you use these cup holders down below for drinks, you're not gonna like it because it'd be in your way. Obviously, you couldn't do that. If you store stuff down here and you're in and out of here every time you drive, unless your stuff will fit up here, you may not like it either. I just have a spare pair of reading glasses and some antacids for emergencies. I'm never down below there, so for me, it's okay. And this is meant for storage. Coins, I wouldn't use coins, but this is meant for storage over here. So you could put, I don't know what you would put there, a card, a wallet, keys. But now's the real moment of truth. With the recently added pop on the back, will my phone still wirelessly charge on this device? Right this second, the answer is no. It did not pick up. Now, I don't know if something's not plugged in right, or if I don't have, or if the pop is making the difference. Let me think about this. I'll lay Johnny's phone up there. I've seen his phone wirelessly charge before, so his phone is also not charging. I want to reseat the USB back here. I'm not sure it's plugged in. So I unplugged and replugged the USB. I have moved it over. I just seeing that it's plugged in all right. And I've taken Johnny's phone out of, keep on pressing Pokemon Go stuff, out of the cover to see if that makes a difference. Yeah, his phone is now charging out of the cover. So that pop is keeping the phone far enough away from the wireless charging that it won't charge, which is a little disappointing. However, being able to just lie Johnny's phone in here to charge, his cover comes on and off really easy. That's probably okay. I'll try one more time. Yeah, I did the troubleshoot thing where we know it works. You know, took it out of the phone, saw it work. So I've laid it back down on there again, and the phone just is not charging with the pop keeping it that far away from the charger. It is not charging. So that's a bummer. That was an unintended consequence of putting those on a couple of weeks ago, month ago. An unintended consequence of putting that Roav Viva down there the other day is that plug is a little big, and sometimes this drawer doesn't want to stay closed. I notice it's now closing because I've got the little cable stuck in here. Whatever it takes though, I guess because I had the blanket on it and that little bit of weight kind of kept it down, or I didn't notice. So that plug might actually be just a little big to get the lid to close if you're used to keeping that lid closed. And I did not realize that the other day, or I would have said it. So I'm going to leave this installed. It's certainly not hurting anything sitting there. If we just want to plug a cable in down here, you know, I've got a couple plugs on the underside. I can put an Android plug for Johnny's phone back in there because obviously I need to put my iPhone plug down here. And, you know, when Don's in the car, his phone will sit there and it'll charge great. You know, and you can leave the phones in here even when you're, you know, exit the car and they're hidden from view. That was one of the nice features of this. And I guess if you have climate on and the car stays on, the phone will charge while you're out of the car, but won't charge if you're out of the car and the car is off, because the USB and 12 volt don't run then. I think that's everything you need to know. I'm back home and I'm gonna pull inside until Tesla mobile service arrives. So I've taken my iPhone X out of the case. I'm gonna sit it down here on the charging pad. It does start charging right away. So that's good. I figured, but I wanted to make sure. So I have the Amazon page up here, and for $49.99 for $50, this is what you get. If you don't care about charging, but you just like the tray insert, that is $40, $39.99. So they're charging you $10 for the actual charging pad. Obviously, this is not as useful for us as I had hoped because of the pops we chose to put on our case, preventing the charging. However, Don's phone doesn't have a pop, and he would be able to use it when he is with me on trips and such. Johnny's phone pops out, so it's not too hard to charge his phone. My case is a mess to get my phone out of. I won't be doing that. I'll just be plugging in still. I wanted to also add, there's no reason why you couldn't just take this in the house and plug it in wherever you plug your phone in now, and do wireless charging inside with it. It doesn't have to be in the car. There's nothing special about it being in the car except for there's a convenient place to plug it in. But this would sit on a nightstand or a dresser pretty good too, the way this tray is made or whatever. I don't know what, there are other in-the-house ones they make that are better for that purpose. But if you got it for your car and then you decided you wanted to use it inside, that would be okay too. I'm out here now with Don's phone, which is a Galaxy S7. Johnny's is a Galaxy S6. He has a magnet mount on the back that he uses to attach to one of those, magnet things he has up here in the GMC. So we wanted to see if that was going to affect his phone from charging. And I keep on all these touch screens when I'm trying to move the phone. I keep on accidentally hitting parts I don't mean to hit. So I've laid it down there, and I'm going to tell you it's not charging. It is not. Let me try taking it out of the case. All right, it's out of the case. I'm setting it down. And it has started charging. So Don's phone doesn't charge in the case either. Kind of a bummer. I imagine in his case it's because of the piece of metal back here. Or possibly the thickness of the case. Hard to say which. Yeah, I said that the case on the Johnny's phone and my phone with the pop was causing the trouble, but I really don't know that if the pops were off, if it would charge through either of those cases, right? I don't know. So I think when you're thinking about wireless charging, phones not in cases probably charge well, and phones in cases, it's questionable. Don's phone and Johnny's phone pop out of the cases so easily, I still think that they'll get some use out of the wireless charger. All right, Donnie. So how'd it go with the dermatologist? Do you have any boo-boos?
Yeah, she froze some of the spots again, and everything was fine. Didn't have anything to worry about. She just froze the things, and of course it really stings when she does that. And it took. I mean, it isn't like I had 1 or 2. It was like 9 or 10.
I'm sorry.
And when she, after, let me tell you, when she stopped, I was quite pleased when she stopped. I had no problem with her stopping.
Yeah, the first day they look a little red, and then day 2, 3, and 4 they start to look like she did something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm sorry, but thank you for getting yourself checked out so we don't have any problems to worry about.
Yeah, as much as I was sunburned as a kid, it's just a smart thing.
Tesla's here. Oh my God, we got Tesla times 2. It might be Rick and Corey today. That's not what we were expected to see. Wow. Hey!
How's it going?
I'm seeing double.
Yeah? You brought your twin?
That's right.
And it is Corey.
And it is Corey.
It's like, in my new unicycle, it didn't get here in time.
Oh, bummer.
Doing great.
Good to see you guys.
You want me to back it in?
Whatever's easier.
So there is some rain in the area, and we decided we'd get underneath the carport here. That way, if it rains, they can, you know, should be able to keep working. The garage is a little tight.
This whole black thing.
That whole black thing.
Right, okay. It's been redesigned. It actually has a foam strip over here. It looks different.
Right.
And it also is made to be thinner and linear, so it doesn't actually make contact.
Right.
So it's not the actual weight of the door, because behind this is more metal that's behind it.
Yeah.
And this was just designed so if anyone touches this,
Yes.
it stops, and it's on both sides. This one never really has an issue.
Right.
It's only this one.
Right.
And this is where the weight of the door sits down too, on this rubber. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's causing this particular mark.
Right.
Yep. And there's
this spot
new
right here is what's caused this one.
Yeah, he showed me where the corresponding wear mark was up there, which I had not looked up to
and
notice.
This one to me is the most significant.
Oh yeah, that is. I hadn't even noticed that. So that's one of these spots along here is catching.
So Rick said this part's got to come off because there's stuff in there that's connected to this piece up there they're going to replace. So it will be a little bit of taking the door apart, and maybe I'll get a picture of it apart. These guys are awesome. I'm going to let them get started. They're going to be replacing just the glass and not the guts of the MCU. And of course working on the Falcon Wing doors, and I'll come in and out and get some video and some pictures. With all of those other wires out of the way, this is what that LED light looks like that Don was working on yesterday. So here's the inside of the door panel. The guys made quick work of getting the outer panel off. Lots of stuff in there, way cool. This is the old part that came off the Falcon Wing door. And you can see the cable here that ran. So this box has the glass that they're going to replace on the MCU. I just thought it'd be cool to do a little part unboxing here.
It's double box.
Yeah, well, it's a piece of glass. I would hope that it's well cushioned. Hey, it's shipped like a laptop.
That's exactly what I see.
Yeah, our last laptop. Yep, exactly. Yep. Wow. So is it really the glue that caused the yellowing?
That's what I've heard.
That's what they say.
So different glue now from the original glue?
Well, now that looks pretty complicated for just
Glass. I see a circuit board.
yeah. Well, it's just definitely it's the screen. It's just like if you have a LCD minus the processor and all that stuff. Oh, now how cool is that?
Wow.
Oh, how cool is that?
Really cool.
There's
That's
actually
it.
two cables.
Two cables.
And their label too. One says display.
There's 3 cables.
Yeah, well, the power cable. Yeah.
So a power cable and 2 data cables.
And you have to put them in a specific way.
Yeah.
So these guys made short order of fixing the doors. They're getting ready to work on the MCU. I thought I'd time lapse from the back this time.
Oh, I knew that. I totally been there, done that. I haven't been into Tesla, but even the GMC, it's got clips.
Well, when you know where the clips are and how they move, you've done it before, there's a lot less chance of breaking them. And
when you know you can give it a good yank. So one clip looked like it did stay. Yeah.
There's one there, one there.
Yeah.
I'll get them out.
So needless to say, to get in there to mess with the MCU, they have to take apart a lot of the dash.
Yeah. That's not too bad. You should see.
But when you've done it before and you know what you're doing, it's...
You should see how hard it is on other cars.
Right.
Significantly harder.
Oh, one more on that side. 12. Jimmy cricket.
Not too bad.
No,
No, it seems very serviceable to me. So they're taking the guts on the back off so they can install that on the new piece of glass.
That's right.
Fingerprint.
But you can't
do that.
The surround goes around and see that rubber like all
seals
around
it.
it?
Yeah,
It will start peeling that right on off.
So the very outer glass and chrome isn't replaced.
Well, the actual glass is all this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So
no
this-
glass.
yeah, right
This
there. you can
Oh,
pick that
that's
up.
just,
Yeah,
oh,
this
it's
is-
hollow.
They call that a surround.
That's
All
right.
right, I got you now.
And
I
that's-
see. You're right. I thought there was another piece of glass there, but there's not. Looks can be
No.
deceiving.
Benzel, whatever. Surround.
Bevel.
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 I don't know which side is that.
That is the correct way. Yeah.
This is the top.
So they've got the brackets back on. And now they're putting it all, the rest of it back together. You're sliding it back into place now. Very carefully.
Ugh. Hate that color.
Johnny wants to make sure the service guys have water. That's very sweet of you, buddy.
Hi guys.
Why don't you set it on top of the
I
cart
brought some
there?
water.
Just set it on top of the cart there, bud.
I didn't know if you guys had brought your own water. You're welcome.
Everything that comes off goes back on.
Right. And then quality check every piece.
Yepper. Well, it finally did rain enough for us to notice. So setting up underneath the carport ended up being a good idea.
Oh, that means you didn't.
Very impressed with how quick they had it apart and had it back together. Look, it's all white around the edges now. No yellowing. Looks awesome.
How sweet is that?
Nice and bright. Bright white.